too. How's everyone doing this lovely day? This your boy Reg in the building. Just out and about, just doing my own thing. I'm not in my usual habitat to keep it a buck with y'all. I'm actually out on vacation, clearing my head. So I was like, you know what? Let me just pre-record something, just something quick. And album I'm about to talk about today is Too Short with his 10th studio album, Gettin It. This was released in 1996 on Jive, which was under what if I'm not mistaken, this was under Dangerous Music, which was of course under Jive Records and stuff like that. Um, Singles albums known for, it came out. No, actually, it was just Jive. Excuse me. It came out with a couple of singles such as like Gettin It, Buy You Some featuring Eric Summer, MC Bree, and Cool Ace. Even though that track was also on the Dangerous Music, the Jane Dangerous Crew compilation that came out in '95, which I'll talk about that. What else? What other songs? I know there was another single. I know there was another single. Give me 1 second. I know there was another single to this album. Okay, Getting It. Oh wow, Getting It and was technically Getting It was the only single technically, because the Buy You Some song that was on the Dangerous Crew album, which if it's still on this, I'll still consider it. But anyway, producers, you got fucking Aim Banks as usual, L.A. Dre, Colin Wolf, MC Breed, rest in peace to him, Shorty B, Spearhead X, and guest appearances you have Parliament and Funkadelic, Stud, Murder One, Joe Riz, Sanji Mickey, MC Breed, Eric Sermon, Cool Ace, Goldie, Sir Captain, Real Tight, Baby D, Rappin' Forte, and yeah, that's it. So the last Too Short album I've talked about was Cocktails, which I can't believe I've done that like about 2, 3 years ago. I can't believe that was like the last Too Short album I've done. If I'm not mistaken, like yeah, I want to say the Cocktails review that was like 2019, which I'm like, oh wow, damn, and it was like the tail end, December of 2019, which is crazy. How I'm just now talking about this and stuff like that, but I got this album like last year too, so yeah. So after the release of the Cocktails album, Too Short pretty much, he got into some controversy, like a beef, like around this time too. People like Lunas, Drew Down, they were popular too, and they got into like Lunas and Yuck Mouth, all of them. They got into like beef for Too Short and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to say the Lunas, they threw shots at Too Short at on the song what's the song, Player Haters, which was off the of course the Operation Stankonia album that came out I want to say like 95, 96. Which that album to me that album to me is pretty much like a West Coast classic in my opinion. Yeah, man, very very dope track. And so he was also getting into like Drew Down 2 and all this kind of climax at the 1990, I want to say 96 Summer Jam or whatever, where they had like a huge ass fight, and KML, who like was sponsoring like the Summer Jam at that time, you know what I'm saying? They banned Too Short from their radio station and stuff like that, and a lot of people want to say that, oh, this is why Short Dog relocated to Atlanta and stuff like that. It was just like a lot of rumors and stuff, but I'm gonna talk about that when I talk about the album. Um, Also, what I want to mention, I know I mentioned Ironically, that's why it's playing in the background. Ironically, but I know like a lot of people, you know, I mentioned the Don't Try This at Home Dangerous Crew compilation that came out in like late '95 after Cocktails. Um, yeah, that was dope track. That was the first appearance of the song Buy You Some with Eric Sermon. But that compilation was also notable because it had a diss track that the Dangerous Crew did, like Spice One, J Double Two Short, called "Trouble Scared to Blast," where they went in on Lunas and Yuck and Drew Down, which that's a dope diss track in my opinion. That diss track never really got like a lot of attention. But to me, my favorite track off the whole battle was when Drew Down came out with that Mr. Buster song. That shit right there. Oh my god, that song is fire. But I'm gonna save that for another day. I'm gonna save that for another day and stuff. So yeah, man. And so around this time too, you know, Too Short was actually like the first rapper to actually release like 10 albums and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know I recently kind of hinted this album when I talked about the god awful LL Cool J 10 album, which technically that was his ninth album, not counting the All World Greatest Hits compilation that came out in '96. Which to me, I would only get that just for like Jack the Ripper, the Lounger remix. I mean, H2O. Oh my God, I love water. But yeah, yeah, that compilation was pretty cool, and like I said, Getting It was supposed to be his last studio album, as you can see and stuff like that. Because after this album, he kind of went on like a mini retirement and stuff. It's not like how rappers, MCs, they say that they're gonna retire, and like 4 or 5 months later they say, "Oh, that was just a publicity stunt." It's not. It's nothing like that. You know, he actually did take some time off and stuff like that. You know, putting certain artists on, but he did like appear on, excuse me, other people's work. Like I know, of course, y'all should know he appeared on Big E's "The World Is Filled," off Life After Death, classic track. I know a lot of people. They have the shit to say about life after death sometime, but songs like that never get its proper due in my opinion. Definitely, even Puffy sounded good on that track, and that's saying something. You know what I'm saying? I know he did a week ago with Jay Z. I want to say that was on, of course, on the Volume Two Hard Knock Life, which very dope album. The album kind of grew on me, it's going on me and stuff. So yeah, man. But back to this album. Album cover, just has, I want to say that's Too Short when he was little and stuff like that. It definitely has like that pimp black exploitation 70s kind of feel to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Y'all remember wearing merches and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I like this because it's like a special offer where it's like Too Short has like a raw videos, he had the I'm a Player video, the uncensored version of Top Down and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then also like with this special color, you also got like a little concert and stuff like that called Shorty the Pimp at the Players Ball. And then you get like another concert called Short Dogs in the House Too Short Live and stuff like that. Yeah, man, and it's kind of crazy too because they have a live performance of Ice Cube, the song he did with Ice Cube called "Ain't Nothing But a Word to Me" off the what's the album, Short Dogs in the House album, which in my opinion, very underrated album. That's one Too Short album I never hear people talk about. Like that album, and to an extent, Shorty the Pimp, to an extent, you know what I'm saying. But y'all check out my reviews on those albums. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, man. And then of course you got like back when labels used to have samplers to come and get your sampler, where you have people like in Jive Records at that time, like Keras One, Spice One, Few Schnickens, so on and so on. Yeah, nothing really too much when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? I really cannot wait to talk about this album. To be real with you, because yeah, man. I for me like to the Too Short reviews, like it's definitely putting me on game about some shit. You know what I'm saying? Putting me on game and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this album has about 14 tracks. Let's get it started. Track number one, Gettin' It, featuring Parliament-Funkedelic. I mean, that's like one of his signature songs, in my opinion. Um, yeah, man, very. I love the usages of the P Funk samples like Bootsy Collins, Bootsy's rubber band. I'd rather be with you. What else? You got I love the sample of that, and y'all should know that song has been sampled plenty of times, like in the West Coast and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, what I got from the song "Getting It" is pretty much, motherfuckers. It's pretty much just talk. Too short saying how our people should not just settle for less. We should just be out there getting money. Black businesses, black emphasis on black businesses. And I remember he was actually talking about this song when he did the versus battle with E40, which that was like one of my favorite episodes of versus, in my opinion. Definitely one of my favorite episodes of versus. Um, Give me one second. Yo, what's up, bro? To be real with you, I don't really know a lot of rappers from that area. I used to know this one cat from Nevada, but I forgot his name. Why you ask? Question mark. Yeah, sorry about that. Matter of fact, I might just put this on properly. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, he was talking about the song. He was talking about emphasis on black businesses and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man, definitely very, very dope track right here. This motherfuckers is talking about getting your money, yo, getting your paper. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a very, 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 very iconic song in the West Coast. Track number two, "Surviving the Game." Self-explanatory. Very, very, very dope song. He's just talking about him and Ant Banks is, match made in heaven. Like his best shit was with Ant Banks. I'm sorry, but and even Ant Banks, he's definitely a West Coast legend. I don't care what no one says. I need to do a review on some of his albums. Most likely, Do or Die, which I kind of like in sonic wise. I kind of compare Do or Die a little bit to this album, and even the Cocktails album too. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, surviving the game, self-explanatory, definitely. Just talking about getting your paper right. Don't let no one pimp you. You know what I'm saying? Track number three, "That's Why." Man, one of my all-time favorite songs off this album. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty. I don't want to call it a diss track. I mean, technically, it is kind of a diss in a way, but it's pretty much Too Short clarifying what happened with the whole KML radio controversy and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much, with this song and stuff like that. He starts out by saying, um, when pretty much how people say like he got ran out of Oakland and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so the beginning, he's all like saying, album number two, album number such and such. We just getting real off this album. We're just getting real off this album and stuff like that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I just got distracted. But yeah, that's why this is definitely a very, very cool song. We just pretty much talking about how even like it's like him saying like he was like one of the first cats from Oakland to really yeah. It was like pretty much him saying like people try to copy his style. It's like him saying people try to copy his style and whatnot, but at the end of the day, he's still him and stuff like that. He just pretty much saying that Lunas and all them other cats are imitators and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much saying how he was just hustling at his time. And I love the line when he was like, when you was in fourth grade, I had a record deal. You got one hit record, now you're balling. You made one fake album, you'll be falling. And that shit don't apply to me, present or past. You can meet me in the mall and get my autograph, or you can flash back. If you can do all that, me, Fred Vance, and Freddie Craps, smoking burner upstairs in Hot Lips house. It's been 50 years and I ain't played out. They're playing Too Short, stepping on the Chevy pedal. Back in the days, KML played heavy metal. Cause a lot of like the known hip hop, a lot of like the known hip hop labels and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They were most likely playing like rock music, but once hip hop really started getting like popular, they want to switch the format. Excuse me. They wanted to switch the format and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely very, very, very dope track, very underrated if you ask me. I always loved when Short Dog was really just spitting in certain tracks like this. So yeah. Track number four, Bad Ways. Bad Ways definitely. It kind of sounds to me. It sounds a little bit like Outkast's Jazzy Bell off the AT album. That's with the whole yeah, man, very, very nice posse cut. We have Stud, Murder One, Joe Riz, and Sanji Mickey. Pretty solid joint. Track number five, Fuck My Car, featuring MC Breed. Very another dope track. Very relatable track because it's pretty much just talking about gold diggers, but the way Too Short talks about it is very distinct because he's pretty much saying how females, certain females, it's like they will fall in love. They won't fall in love with the nigga, but they'll fall in love with like the luxuries that they would have and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I got from fuck my car. And pretty much what he's mean by saying fuck my car, it's like you don't want to fuck me, you just want to fuck my car. You just want me for my riches and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the best way I see it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, very, 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 very dope track. Rest in peace to MC Breed, by the way. West Coast, another West Coast legend. Yeah, man. Unless you in California, Georgia, or New York, that's where everybody is pinpointing at these days. Period. Anything else after is gonna be an acquired taste. So yeah, that was "Fuck My Car." Next track we got is what's the next track? "Take My Bitch." Man, again another song where it's just pretty much the same emphasis on the word bitch and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Classic, classic, classic track in my opinion. Like this whole album does not really have no bad track. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. Just pretty much Too Short talking about his ride or die and stuff like that. So yeah. Track number seven, "Buy You Some," featuring Eric Sermon, MC Breed, and Cool Ace. Very dope track. I never would have imagined Sermon and Too Short really doing music together and stuff like that. Because you also got to remember at this time too, Eric Sermon was also in Atlanta, and around this time he was putting on Jazzy Faye. Around this time too, a lot of people forget that Jazzy Faye was originally under Eric Sermon. A lot of people be forgetting about that shit. But yeah, this was a very, very, very dope track. Probably my second or third favorite track off this album. Love that beat by Eric Sermon. That it definitely sounded like something that either could have been on the Double or Nothing album, or even Insomnia compilation that came out in '96, which I need to get my hands on to this day, because that album Insomnia has some of Sermon's best production, bar none. And speaking of Sermon, I gotta say he had the best verse off this song. Eric Sermon. I feel like Eric Sermon stole the show. Like lines when he said, "Eat double and too short. What the fuck you thought? I come with the ruckus. It's my thing when I swing. I'm born to Mac. Always strapped with the black cat. Who out there? I swear, boy, wanna get touched like." Jeez, he was just in rare form around this song. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and like I said, that's also on the "Don't Try This at Home" compilation. Track number next track. I don't have like the back covers. That's why I'm looking online and stuff. Just to let y'all know. "Pimp Me" featuring Goldie, Cool Ace, Sir Captain, and Real Tight. Again, another solid track right here. Very cool track. Definitely Goldie and Cool Ace and Short definitely did their thing on this track. You know what I'm saying? Track number 9, Baby D featuring Baby D. You guys know how certain albums they used to have that one song or one or two where they dedicate to like somebody else. Give me Miss Shine, and in this case it's Baby D, which for those who don't know who Baby D is, he's basically pretty much like a rapper from Atlanta, and stuff like that. He dropped a couple albums, like he dropped one album called A Town Secret Weapon and stuff like that. Yeah, man, that's who he is. So yeah, he did alright on this track. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing to it. Not bad though. Track number 10, Nasty Rhymes. Self-explanatory. Like what else could he be talking about? Just Too Short spitting that dirty shit. Very, very, very cool. Track number 11, Never Talk Down. This features Forte, Rapping Forte, and MC Breed. Yo, Rapping Forte definitely one of the most underrated West Coast rap. One of the most underrated MCs, period, in my opinion. That don't stop the rap and don't fight the feeling album or whatever. Very dope album. I definitely need to get my hands on that album. Um, and Rapping Forte definitely had the best verse in my opinion. And he was also throwing shots at Lunas too. You know what I'm saying? Especially he had this one line where he says, and I quote, "Find a maiden name for yourself, but don't believe the hype. Fool who you think opened the door for your producer. If it wasn't for the dog and them hogs, you wouldn't have a future." And it was kind of crazy too, was because he even threw shots at Yuck Mouth when on the For the Hard Way album, he even had like a little intro that says "fuck Yuck Mouth" and shit. So yeah, man, just that loyalty, back when crews used to have loyalty to their motherfucking people and shit, people who put them on and shit. Now these days, motherfuckers in the hip hop game want to be selling out each other. Yeah, fucking posses beefing. It's just crazy, but track number 12, I Must Confess. Again, another very cool track right here. You know what I'm saying? Not really one of my favorites, but still, Too Short, just spitting game to his female and stuff like that. Saying, what he feels about her. And shit. It's not like a love song, it's still a dirty song, but yeah. Track number 13, So What You Saying. Um, Probably my favorite track off this album, and this is something that people are emphasizing a lot more now. Pretty much giving somebody their flowers while they're still around. And yes, I know Too Short did not retire. I know that because he still dropped like 20, 30 something albums right after and stuff like that. But if he would have definitely retired after this album and stuff like that, this would probably definitely been like one of his signature or something songs or whatever, because it's just him saying, you know, y'all motherfuckers don't want to say all this shit like y'all support me, but where y'all motherfuckers at? Where y'all motherfuckers at? Pretty much when I was going through such and such, or people just saying, you know, how people just feel so underrated, but then if they're going through like a tragedy, people just say, oh, well, such and such, this is such a very influential rapper, but y'all weren't saying that shit when he was alive. How come we have to wait till he's dead and gone just so y'all can really say it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. That's pretty much what I got from So What You're Saying. And of course, this laptop does not want to respond right now, but you know what? I'm not gonna let that stop me. Fuck it. And then there's this one line where he says, why should I go out like everybody else? I'm going out just like I came in this motherfucker, straight mackin' bitch. Self-explanatory, man. And the last song off this album, I've been watching You Move Your Sexy Body. featuring About Face and Parliament-Funkadelic. Pretty much this is a cover of the Parliament song "I've Been Watching You" off their 1976 album. I want to say the Clones of Dr. Funkenstein, some shit like that. Pretty solid album in my opinion. I definitely need to review some more P Funk albums because it's crazy how I talked about almost a lot of G Funk, but I already talked about like really two P Funk albums, which is like the Mothership Connection and One Nation Under a Groove. But part of me also said I want to get like a majority of their other albums too, because I like I said I like to really challenge myself. I don't always just want to review certain albums if I don't have it in my collection, especially if it's like an influential album. But if I know I'm going to get the album, if I know it's not expensive, I can just be like, you know what, I can just talk about it. I'll get the album within like a week or 2 weeks. Then I won't mind that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, very dope joint. Love the way he flipped this, you know what I'm saying? And that's all the songs off this album. Overall, this is a very dope album. This album right here, pretty much. If he would have retired, I would say if he would have retired after this album, he would have definitely been. It would definitely been like a lot more notable because I feel like a lot of Too Short fans they don't really talk about this album like that. But the thing with this album that it kind of picked up on, you can really see Too Short kind of influencing himself with like a lot of like southern hip hop production, southern styles in a weird way and stuff like that. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, because like I said, he moved to Atlanta, but at the same time, it's still Too Short talking about this pimping shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I personally like this album, and part of me, there's some parts I actually kind of like a little bit better than Cocktails. Believe it or not. I mean, don't get me wrong, Cocktails. It's even hard picking my favorite Too Short album sometimes, man. Because if I was to pick, man, I mean, don't get me wrong. Born to Mac, I like Born to Mac, but it's not like my top favorite. It's more like I want to say one of his most influential. But like Life is Too Short, Short Dogs in the House, Shorty the Pimp, Get In Where You Help, Get In Where You Fit In, Cocktails, and this album. Probably three of my favorite Too Short albums. I can't even pick a favorite some days and stuff. I used to say Get In Where You Fit In was my favorite, but I heard Cocktails, but then I was like, yo, Cocktails definitely was dope. Then I heard this album. I feel like this album definitely does not really get it. I feel like it's like really one of his last great albums and stuff like that. I definitely need to talk about the Can't Stay Away album that came out in '99 because I was going to talk about that album and the You Nasty album from 2000, which I never heard the You Nasty album. I never heard that album. But yeah, definitely did a very solid album. And like I said, I'm grateful that Too Short and Lunas they pretty much squashed the beef like a while after the album was released and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause yeah, thank God for that. This album's actually out of print, but if you can find this album, most have in your collection because Too Short is definitely like a hip hop legend in my book. I feel like he's definitely all these rappers you see on their hustling shit, on their pimp shit, you gotta really give it up to Too Short. You know what I'm saying for introducing that to the culture. And let me just say this: no, pimping is not easy. Pimping, I'm not condoning pimping. I'm really not. But at the same time, it's just all in the music, and that's just how Too Short really is and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like I said, this album's out of print. So if y'all can find this album, must have in your collection. I would definitely give this 4.5 mics, in my opinion. So, yeah. And I have another album I may or may not review while I'm out here. I'm gonna wake up first and see how I'm feeling and stuff like that, and just be like, you know what, I can talk about this or not, because it's not really that much to talk about with this next album, but I'm gonna leave it under wraps, but as usual, and I'm just gonna end it off right after 30 minutes. So it's your boy Reg in the building, and I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.